Legend of Total War here with a new campaign series for Rome Total War. Today we'll be playing the Barbarian Invasion expansion for it. And we're just going to jump in and play the main campaign as the Eastern Roman Empire. So I haven't actually covered that much of this particular campaign. A very long time ago I did a Western Roman Empire campaign. And then right before Attila came out, I played the campaign as the Huns, where I burnt everything to the ground and tried to maintain a horde, which didn't really work out that well. The game wasn't designed for that. But apart from that, I've always it's been on my to-do list to come back to it a bunch of times. I just got sidetracked. So we're going to play as the Eastern Roman Empire, just because that's what I feel like playing. It was really a toss-up between that and the Sassanids. Maybe next time I'll play as Assassinates. I'm sure there's going to be some people who'll be like, why not play as this, or why not play as that? Well, you know, not everyone. I can't play as everyone's favourite all the time. Anyway, so let's just play as this and have some fun. That's all we're going to do. Because that's what the channel's about now, just chilling and having fun. Because I've come to realise that being on YouTube is less about the gameplay and more about the conversation. A lot of you guys don't even watch what the fuck I'm doing. It doesn't matter to some people whether or not I'm winning the battles, whether or not I'm getting heroic victories or anything like that. Some of you are here for the fucking rants. Some of you are here just for the swearing. Some of you are here to listen to my voice, which helps you go to sleep. And whatever floats your boat, that's fine by me. I don't have a problem with it. Actually, the people that listen to videos before they go to sleep, that actually helps the channel out the most, because it helps with watch time, and especially if you're not using ad block, you know, listen to the ads as well. Anyway, dealing with this though, the first thing we need to do, here's the thing. In a state of total war, you can't really expect to fight wars abroad when you have issues at home. So the first thing we always need to do is make sure that our home territories are not going to revolt on us. So we have a choice here that we need to make, whether we need to go pagan or Christian. I think the easiest choice would be going Christian. I think the East is already mostly Christian. There's just a lot of pagan buildings. So we'll just go through and make sure public order is going to maintain under control. So we've got Temple of Sol Invictus here. Let's have a look. So it's already majority Christianity here, so destroying the Temple of Sol Invictus. I didn't turn it Christian. It's because this guy here is pagan. If we take him out of the city, it should go Christian. There we go. And instant fix the public order. And then build that to make sure of it. Because the way it goes is it prioritizes the building, the religious building, and if there is no religious building, it'll then prioritize the governor, and then I think it prioritizes after that the faction leader, if there's no other influencing factors. So we're going to leave him here, but we'll sort him out in a bit. So yeah, it's a bit sort of like just a chill campaign, just playing this Eastern Roman Empire. Certainly not the most challenging campaign. I think it's been YouTube's been doing, the stuff on YouTube's been good lately. Not in terms of ad revenue. Fuck, Adpocalypse is killing it. It's an absolute disaster. But in terms of like, from what I gather, how much you guys are enjoying the videos and how much I'm enjoying the campaigns, we seem to be at an all-time high, which is really good. Ever since I shed off all the multiplayer stuff. You know, a lot of the bad apples in the community sort of went away, in my opinion. I've just lowered the taxes there. Yep, it keeps under control. Yep, we should be able to get rid of that. And then lower taxes, good. I mean, just under control, but that's all we need right now. We can. As things become more Christian, we'll get rid of a lot of that unrest. Totally. Oh, is this guy pagan? Alright, so if he's pagan, we should probably get him out of here.
General! Onward! Ambush in place. Fleet ready! Aye aye, Captain! Sir!
That way he doesn't have his filthy influence in the settlement. Now, on an actual ideological level, I do actually prefer paganism over Christianity. I don't think Christianity was an upgrade on paganism. I know all the Christians in the audience will be like, you know, all the whinging and stuff that happens. This is my opinion. On a practical level, I think that paganism is a bit more practical than Christianity. This is my personal opinion. You're free to disagree with me or whatever. I don't think atheism is, because you know, I'm an atheist. I don't think atheism is practical at all for ruling. It doesn't, you know. If anything, it creates too many dissidents. Yep, that's already Christian, so that's fine. Philadelphia. Get rid of this Sol Invictus shit. It's good. You want to get rid of as much of the paganism as possible before we do anything else. Most of these settlements are already majority Christian. They've just got the pagan buildings in there. Get rid of them. Legend, I would have preferred it so much more if you had played as a pagan, because... There probably won't be any comments like that. Especially now that I've said that. I know I've gotten, like, messages from some people saying that whenever I use that sort of dumbass voice, that's like their favourite parts of the video. It's been difficult lately because there have been so few dumbass comments. I mean, there's been a few, but there's less of them these days. That's for sure. So it's more of a case. It's just a force of habit now. I might as well. I'm not a big fan of assassins anyway. Hey Legend, why would you sacrifice your assassin like that? Okay. Alright, so... Funny thing is with assassins is that they cost you 200 in upkeep per turn, but you can't disband them. So how do you get rid of them? You just do that. Alright, so we've still got a lot of money left over. Public order is good in most areas. Let's just lower some taxes. Make sure it's completely under control. Now, what's our actual income? It's pretty high. Now, the measure of our power will be obviously the size of our armies. If we want to increase the size of our armies, we need to increase our money, which might actually be temporarily decreasing the size of our armies. Now, in Rome Total War, it doesn't make sense, I suppose, to disband units. You're better off, in my opinion, sending them out to war, especially when you're a faction with so much manpower like we've got. What's our population? Well, we won't be able to see this. You know, historically, millions of people to draw from. Just send them to war. So we don't need a huge garrison here. It's like all of these troops here is costing more than 1,000, so it's not making it. It's not a productive use of our. Excuse me. Of our income. Of our economy. Just lower the taxes, and that should maintain public order. So bring this guy over here, and since we're already at war with the Sassanids, then we'll go and attack them. You go as well. Now, can we get... What I'd like to do is just have a unit of peasants in there, not for the governing bonus, because that's obviously the cheapest unit in upkeep that we can have is peasants, right? But it's just to prevent the no governance penalty, that's all. It doesn't matter if there's no actual government bonus, or garrison bonus, because we don't need it, because we've fixed up public order and there for the most part. Then these guys here, they can head down south. And maybe we'll go hit Petra. So this is in Nabateo. We don't need large garrisons if we take the fight to the enemy. Because what you'll notice in a lot of my campaigns is that I very rarely get besieged. Or if I do get besieged, my armies show up and fucking crush them anyway. Or if I do get besieged, my armies just come and retake it all anyway. Straight away. They never hold on to it for long. That should maintain public order.
Imperator! March! No more moves, sir.
Diplomat down here seems kind of pointless. So yeah, my thoughts are control the east. That way we've got our backs to the wall there. That secures a frontier. Because the worst thing you can have is like a frontier that's, you know, surrounded by enemies. So let's just deal with this enemy to the east, and then we can deal with the enemies to the west after that quite easily. Seems pretty simple to me.
Fleet ready. Set sail.
I'm sure just one unit in there will maintain public order. Yep.
Set sail. Move.
Could use a movement bug, but you know, there's no need to do that. Let's see, who else are we at war with? We're at war with the Sarmatians. Now, I think the Sarmatians are up here, yeah. Doesn't really make sense to go to them right now. Maybe we'll go for the Goths.
Orders. Onward.
Right, so let's get our troops
Orders.
out here.
Onward.
Alright, maybe you do actually need to stay there for the time being. Just until we fix up public order a little bit more. So you're a pagan. You're going to come out here and help us fight. These guys as well, they'll come. And you're a Christian, but I don't really need you here, so just leave that. Actually, I'll leave you there for the time being. Got to fix up public order there a little bit more. Okay. See, this is not a frontier settlement. It makes no sense to leave an army here.
Forward. Orders. Onward.
None whatsoever. I can't understand why some people want to leave like huge garrisons in like their internal cities.
Orders.
Makes no sense. Okay, that should maintain public order.
Fleet ready.
I don't want to send them. I'll send them down here because then there's the Western Roman Empire will have to be dealt with.
Fleet ready.
Got to unite the empire. I suppose you could just wait there until he gets a bit closer. So over here, bring these guys into the mainland. There's no sense in keeping like units that are relatively expensive as garrison. No, just keep cheap shit because no one's coming here. Oops. God damn it! Stop doing that.
Daryl.
Okay, I don't know if that's going to maintain public order actually. Okay, they might actually have to stay there for a little while.
Aye, Captain. Imperator.
Well, at least leave the cheap shit there first. Take the expensive stuff and send them off to battle.
Yes, Captain. Leaving the army. All ashore.
That'll maintain public order.
Orders. March. Moves completed.
Okay, Alexandria. I think the forces that we've got here is sufficient. I'll send them west by boat.
Ready to sail. Aye, aye, Captain.
No need for high taxes. We already make enough money, I think.
General.
Don't need to be super efficient.
Ready to sail. Aye, aye, Captain. Out of food, sir.
Looking good.
Orders.
Okay, I don't think any of those areas are going to revolt. Now we can construct some stuff. Let's see, let's look for the most economical buildings we can find to build. Things like ports and roads. Now people will say in like vanilla, you know, how come you never build ports or roads right at the start? Well, because in all honesty, at the start of the campaign, in vanilla, it was a small settlement. Trade doesn't really factor too much into income. But when you've got large settlements, trade is the majority of the money. Which is why in smaller settlements I focus on population growth, so that I can then build up the trade, get to the trade faster. But since we've already got the huge cities here, now we focus on trade, not population growth. So Sidon, we can go with that. And we're pretty much out of money. Okay, everything seems under control, let's move on. Sure, you're a Christian. No pagans, though. And yeah, this always happens on turn 1. The rebels show up randomly throughout our territories. It's not a big deal. We just sort of need them to go and like stand on watchtowers. We don't want them standing on roads. That's a bit of a problem. So I'm just gonna straight up take the fight to the Goths out here in Dacia. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna kill them.
Sir, forward. Merging armies.
Which will create them as a horde. Oh well, we've got to deal with them at some point. Maybe I should send you up north.
Onward.
Good. Public order's maintained.
Sir, march. No more
Let me
moves,
just
sir.
put him over here. Build a watchtower there. That way, if we'll get a little bit of visibility, but also if rebels show up, you don't really want watchtowers on the roads because rebels are attracted to watchtowers like flies on shit. So don't put them in valuable spots.
Aye, Captain. Aye, aye, Captain. No more moves, sir. Fleet ready. Aye, aye, Captain. Moves completed, sir. Imperator.
Yeah, but now's not really the time to deal with them. Let's focus on expanding. Now, once we're done with that, I'm not too familiar. Maybe head up this way. So maybe you should go and just push them off the road there. Like, I don't mind them being here. Just don't be blocking my fucking trade routes.
Settlement under siege, sir.
Yeah, this should be sufficient. Alright, let's take this on. So this isn't that much of a battle. So I suppose on this episode here, because it's an episode 1, it's a good opportunity to talk to you guys about, you know, how I'm running the channel, what to expect, how I feel about certain behavior and that kind of stuff. Which, you know, does have sometimes a effect of backfiring on me, but yeah, fuck it. I run this channel the way I want to, and here's the thing. I'm not doing YouTube for money. This is like one of the worst ways to make money, in all honesty, for the amount of time that I put into it. But why do I do it? Well, because I love it, and I don't want to not love it. So I'm going to run the channel the way I want to, which also means that that you guys your interactions with me that factors into it. And as much as I've said, I don't care. Oh shit. Hang on. I don't care about anyone's opinion, which is true. I guess people's behavior in the comments. How do I explain this properly? Because I gotta be careful with what I say. Because if I misrepresent what I'm going to say, you're not going to understand what I mean. If you misbehave in the comments, then it reflects badly on me. Let me just put it that way. And let me just try and get them if I can. So these desert cavalry, they're actually horse archers, 100% right. So now, what am I talking about? Now, 99.9% of the time, and 99.9% of the comments, perfectly fine. Innocuous comments like, you know, great video, love the video, or maybe some sort of criticism like, I couldn't hear you properly, or, you know, whatever it could have been. I think my audio levels are fine. But in the Numidia campaign, I don't know why specifically we had some bad behavior with that, but it's happened. Now, as I've said to you guys before, I kind of need to do this sort of like housekeeping every now and again, but at the same time, I'm really trying to pick my words carefully. Because the thing is, I'm also concentrating on the battle, because I know that sometimes I can say something that's very, very harsh, and I don't necessarily mean it, so I gotta be very careful. Because, you know, I could have a viewer that has been watching me for years, and then I might say something that they don't agree with, and they're like, oh, fuck this guy, unsubscribe. And that's not what I want, necessarily. So, now, as I've said with how I run the channel, don't expect anything from me. Don't demand anything from me. With the Numidia campaign, there have been a few people, it's not a lot, like I said, it's only a small portion, that think it's okay to to be rude and demand shit from me. Whether or not they think it's a joke or not, it's never taken well with me. As much as your joke on your YouTube comment, you might think it's funny, I guarantee you nobody else fucking thinks it's funny. So what am I talking about? Basically, people that go, where's my fucking campaign? Where's the next fucking episode coming out? Give me the next episode now. That kind of really rude comment. That kind of shit doesn't fly with me. I expect everyone, here's the thing, if you want to comment on my channel, and if you want to ask anything from me, or of me, you need to show manners. If you don't show manners, you fucking don't get anything from me. I can promise you that. That's all I'm going to say in terms of manners. But yeah, I don't know why people think that they could just say, because I have everything on a rotation, right? So let's just say they've got six series running. 6 or 7 series is usually the standard at the moment. You know, I do each episode in turn. Now, if something comes up, maybe maybe if it's a new series, maybe I'll insert the episode 2 in before its rotation. You know, I make judgment calls based on these things. But when people send me emails, things asking me when something is or anything like that, just don't fucking bother, because everything is on a rotation. I mean, it should be pretty fucking obvious everything's on a rotation. If you followed my channel for anything more than a week, you'd know it's on a fucking rotation. Very simple way to deal with it. That way I don't need to leave a schedule. That way also, because here's the thing, I am in Australia. If I say, okay, releasing a new video 10 PM Saturday, and then I do it, people in America don't realize 10 PM Saturday for me is like 5 o'clock in the morning for them on the Friday. You know, it's basically the wrong day. I've also had things like when I do like April Fool's pranks. Now, usually I leave uploading those pranks until past midday my time. Now, April Fool's, generally speaking, is on April 1st before 12 PM. So I'll release it at 12 PM my time, but the problem is YouTube runs on like California time, which is like 15 hours behind me. So that means it's actually like 9 o'clock in the evening on March 31st. So if you look at the 2 April Fool's videos that I've done recently, they're always on March 31st. You know, that's because, you know, Americans don't realize there's this thing called a time zone. You know, people joke about dumbass Americans, but fucking hell, you guys prove it right all the goddamn time. But yeah, things like that, I guess. It just doesn't really. I wouldn't say that shit bothers me. It's more like it makes me facepalm how stupid some people are. And of course, it's always the minority of people. You know, I know that there's a silent majority of people, and those are the people that I make videos for, that are intelligent enough to know that they don't need to leave a dumbass comment. You know. So, what am I saying, basically? Don't expect anything from me, don't be rude, and we'll get along just fine. But yeah, here's the thing, if you're gonna ask me a question, people still ask me, you know, I'm just trying to think of an example, I don't know. But if you've got any questions, don't do it in the comments. The comments is a shitstorm for me. Comments is the worst place for me to respond to stuff. If you want to get an actual answer from me, ask me a question on Facebook, and please try not to ask a question that I've answered like 50 million times before. I know it is very hard for you guys to like watch every single video I've ever made to find those answers, but still, like, sometimes I get people asking me things like, hey, my computer's not working, how do I fix it? I'm just like, I don't fucking care. Why do you think I would give a shit about your fucking computer? Do I sound like I'm your fucking friend? Do I sound like I'm tech support here? You know? Or they'll say like, oh, my room too. What, my graphics settings going all fucked. Do you know what to do? No, go to the fucking forums, you know? I'm not fucking IT help desk. Just because I know how to play the game doesn't mean I know every fucking graphical error that could possibly happen. I mean, I know, you know, most people that, you know, asking the questions don't know where to go. But also, do keep in mind, guys, that I do get a lot of emails, and that it frustrates me I can't answer every email, and that really frustrates me. And when I get an email that essentially wastes my time, I know it's not necessarily intentional, but think on this: if you're sending an email that could possibly be wasting my time, you've deprived someone else of an answer that could have actually been important. This is why I don't like infantry very much.
The enemy general is dead.
The morale isn't very good.
No, their doom approaches.
Trying to use the javelins, but you know, problem here is pathfinding. If pathfinding is such a problem on huge unit scale, why don't you just go on large unit scale? Personal preference. If I go on large unit scale, people will be like, how come you're just playing on easy mode now? A real champion would play on a huge unit scale. You can't ever win. You can't ever fucking win. You can't ever please everyone. I don't try to. Some people will often say things like, you know, why don't you just shut up about other people's comments and things like that. Well, you know, I know it's like, if I want to be like successful on YouTube, I know I would have to suck viewers' dick. I understand that. But here's the thing, that's never going to happen. Because I don't personally fucking care if I'm never rich or famous off YouTube. I'm quite satisfied with the success level that I've got. And like I said previously, I'm here to enjoy myself just as much as you are. And when people get on my tits, that lowers my enjoyment. And how do I get people to stop doing that? Well, I call you out in your bullshit. I do believe that if you want something to stop happening, you can't just pretend it doesn't happen. You know, like for example, if you've got a girlfriend and your girlfriend has a annoying habit, you can't just expect her to stop doing that annoying habit if you never tell her about that annoying habit. So what I do is I tell you guys every time that you guys have annoying fucking habits, and I want you to stop. That's all I do. And of course, like I said, it's always the minority of people. But yeah, I don't tolerate bad behavior. And I always find it kind of ironic when someone says, I wish you would just shut up and play the game and stop complaining about complaints and all this kind of stuff. Look, I'm not complaining about complaints. I'm just having a chat because there's not much to talk about on that battle. You know, people that want me to shut up, do you know what I do to them? I delete their comments. Because that's the ironic thing. If you're telling someone else to shut up, then I'll just shut you up. Sometimes I don't even realize the irony in it as well. That if you're able to post comments on my channel, on my videos on my channel, that's a privilege that I have given you that I can take away from you as well. So it has to go both ways. If you ever tell me to shut up, I'll hide your comments. Because you get what you deserve. You reap what you sow, and I'm fucking in charge, and that's just how things work. I don't have any control over anyone else's channel, nor do I try to control anyone else's channel. If there's a comment on someone else's video that I don't like, I don't fucking contact the creator and be like, hey, could you delete this comment? It's butt hurting me. No. Just don't bother with it. Fuck, the public order here is shit. Probably because we've turned it... No, Christianity is dominant here, so it comes down to... I wonder if you're a problem.
Orders. Forward.
It doesn't help, but it doesn't... It's the culture penalty. That's what's killing it. Alright, what we'll do, we'll just leave one unit in there. Because probably still have the same amount of public order. And we'll try to fix up the public order. We got a little bit of time before it revolts. If we build this, that should reduce culture penalty by quite a lot. Hopefully the unrest can start going down. If we can get rid of a little bit of this Zoroastrianism, it might help a little bit, but... I don't know if we're going to fix that in time. Either that or we're just going to have to adjust the capital temporarily. So what I might do here, to stand them there, next turn push them over again and build a watchtower out here and allow them to stand on it. Because there's no benefit at all in me killing them. Because they'll just spawn new ones.
Watching and waiting. Moving.
Alright, Hatra is undefended.
Engage the enemy.
Mine, motherfucker.
Settlement under siege, sir. Imperator, march. Moves depleted, sir. Ready to sail. Imperator. Move out.
Good, yeah.
No more moves, sir. Ready to sail.
Alright, we've got... just moving things around a little bit. I suppose the excitement in the campaign will happen a little bit later on, just because, to begin with, it's just got to move everyone to the front lines. I do think it's more fun to play a Total War game when you start off with like nothing and build your way up, as opposed to starting with a huge empire and fixing it up and expanding it from there. I've got no more money, so I'm not going to be able to build anything. How are we going financially? Not making a whole lot of cash, but that's because we take all the governors out of the settlement so they can go and fight. So we'll be making money as we continue to fight. We're just trying to get them onto the front lines. Because this settlement here didn't make us any money, but well, no one else is going to develop it. So we got to, if we want it, we got to get it now while we can. But also, I don't know if I'm going to go full map completion. Because here's the thing, the way I work with these campaigns now, I of course record the entire series before I even release any episodes. We'll see how we go, whether I just go for victory conditions. Let me see, we've got 18 regions controlled. What's the victory for 34? I don't know, we'll see how we go. The thing is, after victory conditions are met, it's like, there's no more challenge left in the campaign, so I might just go victory conditions. Alright, let's move on to the next turn. Did I remember to build siege equipment? Because I may have forgotten. So Petra rioted. I was expecting that, of course. 65%. And it's just under control there. At 70%, it doesn't revolt. Alright, so if we build this, that'll provide a little bit of our culture in here, reducing culture penalties. So yeah, you don't need to stay there anymore. So once again, push them over just by one, build the watchtower here, allow them to stand there, and that way, that's just one load of rebels we never have to worry about, because it's not like them raiding that area there is going to cost us much. Because rebels, you can't ever get rid of rebels completely, but there is a limit to the amount of rebels that will spawn.
Orders.
Alright, let's do this.
Prepare for battle.
Always found it funny with some people, with their shit theories. The problem is that people will just make shit up, right, with no evidence, and people will start to believe it because it seems they'll latch onto a coincidence, not an actual correlation. How long that these fucking myths can persist for. And one of these persistent myths is that, oh, rebels only show up in regions that have high unrest. Not true. You can have regions that have 200% public order that rebels will show up from. Alright, let's just chuck him. Oh, hang on, what about, just think about using the archers. Well, they're not up front, so let's just do this.
Our soldiers are at the walls.
So what have they got? I didn't really check. Ooh, Clibanarii. A very strong unit. That's going to be hard to take down, especially with trash units like this. And these guys here are no big threat. Their spears look really thick. Have a look at these guys' spears. Yeah, they don't look as thick. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's the same.
engineering triumphs once more. The walls are down. Order your men on to victory.
Alright, so here's an idea. Let's try and lead these fuckers into a trap. Because getting into melee with them will lose a lot of troops. So I want you to get in there and try and get their attention. The problem is it is very hard to maneuver these guys around inside of cities. If we can get the archers to shoot them, that would be good. I always wondered what the hell this mound here was for.
The walls are taken.
The thing is, they'll start shooting, but getting them out of the spot here is... Oh, they actually did well there. Looks like we killed one of them. But these super heavy cataphract type units, they're very strong. Very well armored. Maybe I shouldn't have this on high speed. Let's have a look at how much armor they do have. Yeah, fucking 20 armor. Let's see. Pathfinding. Okay, first to die, first to recover, and also the Hippotoxitai, they're not the best units. There we go. You guys should shred them up. Okay, they're no threat to us now. As for these, let's continue to harass them a little bit. Do they have javelins or something? I don't think so. Oh, they're fucking horse archers. That's right, those things are really tough. Okay, well, obviously shooting at them is not going to work. Because they're heavily armored and we're not. Even sending my generals in here is probably not a good idea. The problem with sending the Metanii in is that even though they're spearmen, they're low morale units. So it's possible that that one unit of Clibanario can beat all of these. What are Legio Lancarii? Thing is, I don't like using my most professional units. Save them for an actual difficult fight. Also, another thing is that these guys are very easy to retrain. They can probably be retrained here, whereas the Legio Lancarii, they probably can't be. Let's start moving up. This guy must be the faction heir. So you guys start using your javelins, because these guys are not good to use in melee. The javelins do more damage. That being said, hard to pierce this armor. Well, I imagine playing as the Sassanid would be pretty damn easy. You got units like this. What are you doing? See, they haven't even really lost any men, they're shaken. I've got the general right here. These guys are absolute goddamn cowards. Okay, we're doing no damage here shooting at them, so we might as well go into melee. Maybe we'll do a little bit better that way. Yeah, you need to be right behind them here. Make sure they don't rout. Yeah, another reason for attacking them early on is a good idea. We don't ever want the Sassanids getting their infrastructure sorted, so they get loads of these units. Because I imagine right at the start they probably don't have their finances in order. They're not going to get too many of these. So looking at it, does they have 2 hit points? No, it's just 1 hit point. It's just a really tough
general
unit.
is dead. His men know their doom approaches.
I imagine all of these guys will have returned. Fucking cowards. I can send the general in now, there's only a few of them. Just need to prevent these guys from getting wiped out. Lots more men than they did, but trash compared to units that just... It's very hard to go up against them and take no casualties. They're essentially tanks. Well, I think we'll exterminate them. Bloody Zoroastrians. Alright, so... if we get rid of this, we will have big time public order problems. What we need to be doing is getting more Christian influence in here before we destroy the temple. So these two are both Christian, right? So we just need more Christians here. Like, this guy here is a Christian. Putting him in the region will increase Christian influence. But not enough to negate this. We could get up to 100% penalty by destroying this right now. Alright, I think we should build an arena. That way we can build the do the games and stuff. That'll help it out a fair bit. Oh, he would be a Zoroastrian character, right? So killing him would bring that down to 25%.
General!
We need to know what we're up against first.
General! Engage the enemy!
So it's Clibanarii Immortals. That's no big deal. We retrain those units here? Yeah, I can retrain the Legio Lancarii as well. Alright, well let's take them, because if I send too many units,
General! Imperator!
they won't engage with us anyway.
Armies! General! Imperator!
I'll take these two. Actually, no, I'll take these two. Wait, can they be retrained? They can't be retrained, so don't take them. Take these two.
General!
They can't be retrained either, so... Oh no, I'll keep them in reserve.
Attack!
Could be tricky, but it's important that we kill this guy to reduce Zoroastrian influence in the area.
Today! Await my orders! Units! Fire at will! Units! Units! Move out! Units! Move out! Units! Move out!
So what should I do? Okay, well what I think I'll do is I'll charge these guys into these desert archers first off. And then, after they break, get back. So far so good. The enemy are getting a little bit wrecked. Get out, get out, get out. Do not engage with them. Alright, start moving in the infantry. I'm going to need you guys on the flanks. I need the infantry to lock down the Clibanario and you guys to hit them in the sides. Okay, you're not going to get a good chance to use javelins, just get in there. Their archers return. Yeah, they came back. Just aim right for their center. Shit, get back. Move it. Get back over here before our guys break. And luckily their units broke, but it's not their infantry I'm concerned about, it's the Clibanario. They're too damn strong. Okay, good. We can deal with them. Okay. But also, it's also important we wipe out this army, so try and get that guy to run down as many of them as he can. Him shooting the general, I don't think he's got enough ammunition to kill them all. So is he coming into melee? Okay, good. Then we can hit him in the rear. Just don't die on me, you shit. Jeez. Even though we charged into his rear, our guys still couldn't bloody get him. He needs to come back over here. Right, if we charge into him again, he's wavering, so all we need to do is break him, then he doesn't count for shit. Doesn't matter how much of the bodyguard dies, as long as he survives. So, we didn't wipe out the entire army, but we got rid of the units that actually mattered.
The enemy show their true virtue. They are not
We'd never make it back over there in time to kill them off.
All Rome will be a...
So they lost more troops than we did as well, which is good.
Victory!
Yeah, we didn't wipe them out.
Forward! Orders!
If you stand over here and he attacks you, he'll run across the river.
At your service. Secrecy is assured.
Alright, so we've got some enemies coming over to Caesarea, so let's buff up the garrison a little bit with some... let's go with some archers. They'll be good on the wall.
Imperator, fleet ready. Fleet ready.
Okay, I want you to pick up the troops from here,
Set sail.
heading up this way to Colchis.
Imperator, General. Ready to sail. Yes, Captain. Ready to sail. Set sail. Ready to sail.
And over here... Yeah, I do want to kill the Goths. Let's do that.
Attack! Victory! Imperator.
Fuck the Goths. Alright, so what have you got? Yeah, we should be able to crush him.
Engage the
Now, the best way to handle barbarian factions is to kill off all of their family members before they turn into a horde. Because what I've done before is like, all of their forces just being in their last city, and then I've wiped them out in that city, and then
to keep them
fucking
waiting.
6, 7, 8 armies show up.
Await my order.
But if you kill all their armies before they've turned into a horde,
Group dismissed.
then it's not so bad.
Unit,
It actually does get rid of them. So we've got the Comitatenses, Legio Lancarium, or Comitatenses. Okay, we got a solid army here. They don't stand a chance. Put these guys in the rear because I just don't think I'm going to need them. Hang on, I may not have need to go that far. So these archers here. Goth Raiders. Have they got long range missiles? Right. But I'm sure that if we used our archers, our archers would win. We outnumber them 3 to 1. No need to be in loose formation when we've got missile superiority. See, them going into loose formation right now, they weren't shooting. Okay, some of these guys here aren't shooting, they need to get closer. Okay, Gothic Spearmen coming in, just pull back a bit. So their archers are actually longer range than ours. Okay, get back. Ah, shit. It's not the end of the world. At least they didn't get a chance to charge into the Comitatenses, which are more valuable. Sometimes it's actually okay to let them charge into your archers. Oh, motherfucker. Goddamn cowards. Even my best troops are goddamn cowards against General's bodyguard. Fucking useless. Gotta rely on cavalry. I'll be reforming the army to mostly a cavalry force, because they're just so much more reliable than infantry. Our best troops just can't even... just don't hold the line very well.
The enemy general is slain, and now
Good.
his men fear us. It is time to press the attack.
Okay, now you start shooting. It's okay, neither one of those units are wiped out, they can be retrained. Constantinople, I think. Yeah, you stand back. Get the archers back over here to shoot the Gothic spears.
Enemy
What are
army
we up
is
to?
in flight. Pursue
91%?
them,
Good, they're all dead.
all Rome will be
Overall,
ready
not
to
a
set-
great battle, I suppose. I mean, The thing is, I don't really like doing it on 1 time speed, just because otherwise it just makes the campaigns take too long.
Imperator.
Overall damage is not that bad though. So what we'll do now, where can I send you back for retraining? I can't even retrain any of these. Probably not going to have that many Eastern archers in my army, to be honest. I'm going to be focusing more on cavalry.
Sir.
So maybe I'll just disband it. It doesn't matter that much.
Orders. March. No
So stay there. Just any Goths that come down this way, just go smash them. I don't know if I necessarily want to go and conquer them just yet. I certainly want to see what they've got first.
Waiting your command.
What else?
Sir. Aye, Captain. Aye, Captain. Aye,
Should we go wage war in the Western Roman Empire? Might as well unite the Empire.
Imperator. March.
Okay, public order here is maintainable. That's good.
Fleet ready. Set
Let's head over to
sail.
Lepsis.
Out of move, sir.
Yeah, that public order's gonna be fine. Alright, what else should we construct? We need more money. Yeah, building a port will help. Will help a bit. I mean, the problem here is that it's fairly corrupt. With our armies making their way to the front line, we should be making more money as we lose more troops, because I'm not really going to be focusing on recruitment just right now. Alright, let's move on. What happened there? Did he get assassinated? Oh, he did too. He got assassinated. Well, alright then.
Your Honor.
So this guy is a pagan, so we don't necessarily want him in regions which we're trying to make Christian. So that decreased our influence in the area now as well. So that means the Christian influence, even though there's not much here in the first place, it's going down.
At your service. Moving. Moves depleted, sir.
Now while we're stuck here sitting around doing nothing, I want to be moving on to Ctesiphon. We're not really doing nothing, it's just...
Ready to sail. Set sail.
Well, you know what I
All
mean.
ashore. Sir. Move out.
So Catius, we'll take that. It's just a large town. Probably not going to be particularly
Gentlemen under siege, sir.
good to take. At least it's Christian. So that helps.
Can I be of service? Your Honor.
Oh, Dacia's a giant pile of shit. Oh fuck, we could have wiped them out. All we have to do is kill that guy and then leave. That's what we have to do. We don't want to actually win the battle. Because if we win the battle, they turn into a horde. I didn't realize they had so few troops.
Imperator.
Oh, I forgot to move this guy. It's alright.
Moves depleted, sir.
Let you go.
Sir.
For the peasant and go meet up with him.
Imperator. Onward.
Good.
Joining
Public order's being maintained. A lot of Sassanids over here. Which is fine, I guess. If they just want to sit there, it's costing them money while I'm developing the settlement. But before we leave the area, we're going to have to clear them out.
Sir.
They'll probably move on that fort soon.
Orders.
Okay, I need to get to Arabia Inferior, but I don't know where the settlement is.
Your Honor. No more moves. Imperator. Onward. Imperator. Onward. Out of move.
We're not going to find it by
Ready to sail.
not looking. Actually, they're kind of expensive. Just get some more archers, because they're pretty cheap.
General. defeated, sir.
Okay, public order here is good. Definitely got a nice increase to our income. Gets through to astute administration. Alright, so what are we going to do? We're going to build. And Athens, again, it's not a frontier settlement, so developing up public order and money is the way to go. So we don't get anything out of that. So a dockyard, we can get an extra 200 coins. 200 denarii. Sounds good to me. Yeah, we get more from ports. I think someone's mowing some lawns or something, because I can hear a humming back in the background. It's all good.
Orders?
Okay, nothing else needs to be done there. It'd be good if we could wipe out the Goths next turn. Like, it doesn't matter to me if we win this battle. If we can winning the battle is less important than wiping out the faction. Because we go in there, we wipe out the faction, then we just go back in and take it the next turn. It doesn't benefit me being at war with them, so I'll accept it on the condition that you give me map information. I won't tolerate that. We'll need to sally out and kill them. But sally out battles are easy, so that's not going to be a problem.
Sir!
Alright, so he's got... Now here's the thing. That guy's a family member, not a faction heir. But that doesn't necessarily mean he's not the faction heir.
Your Honor. At once, at once, at once. No more moves. Orders?
All I know is that if we take this settlement, we're going to be dealing with a lot more Goths than this. So let's go in here. Now the purpose of this battle is to essentially raid. We're just going into there as an assassination mission to kill both of these two generals. Doesn't matter about any of the other guys, and then we leave. Because once the faction's gone, you know, we do not want an 8-stack of Goths rampaging through our lands. It's not worth it. Better to lose the battle to win the war than the other way around. Alright, so... Alright, let's get organized first. You know, it actually would have been better if I had a few more archers. It's fine though. We've got more than enough to deal with this settlement. I'm just lamenting the loss of those other ones. Which was unnecessary, but... oh well. I get a bit blasé with this stuff sometimes. Especially when you've got a massive advantage. So it's the warlord we really need to hit for him. But here's the thing though, you sometimes have to clear out all the other shit to get to him. That's probably the other one. That's it, you come out here and I'll be able to get you. Shit, things. Oh. Oh, that worked out well. No losses so far. Okay, that's one down. That's good. Did I even lose any men? That all worked out very nicely. You know what the funny thing is? They fucking had skirmish mode on. So don't ever fucking tell me skirmish mode is good. Okay, because they didn't use skirmish mode at all. because light cavalry can be easily shot. Good, thin them out. That's what we need to be doing. Never liked it that you know, it can be very difficult. I think the case is when you're when I'm moving, and come on, whenever I bloody want it to click, I click it a bunch of times. I mean, old game, you know, I don't expect a patch to come out for it anytime soon. Ooh, Legend, how come you always play triple game speed all the time? Gotta keep fast pace of these campaigns, otherwise these battles just take too long. Especially when I'm just sitting there shooting them. Like, it's not really fun to just sit there watching them die. I mean, it is, but it isn't on slow motion. The problem is that they can come at me too quickly. Okay, so we're out of ammo here. If I get a chance to react. Right, so how many of them have we killed? Now, we only need to kill the general, but the problem is that we have to get to that general. Okay, there he is, he's over there. Who's shooting us? So this person, oh right, Goth Raiders right there. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send all the Limitanii to charge over here. And while they've got them locked down, I'll send these cavalry to go get those Goth Raiders. If you could just, actually, if you can go on loose formation. I really don't think loose formation helps that much though, to be honest. Send the guy who's not the general over there to go kill the Goth Raiders, while you make sure that they don't break. Maybe mission impossible though. Limitanii on this difficulty are almost never worth hiring, unless you've got no other choice. Nothing else to hire. Hey, what the hell? I told you to... Fuck up. Oh, I see. The pathfinding. They can't go through that way. Without being babied. I'm gonna send this channel through. Okay, good. This is kind of working. Okay, go over there. I mean, our guys are doing a shit job over here. Thousands of them fighting this warlord here, and not doing a very good job of it at all. Get back. They'll probably rout soon. But there's nothing you can do. I mean, it's a perfect situation to be using. We've got spearmen versus cavalry. They've kind of got a high ground advantage, but can't do anything about that right now. But these guys are just trashy on this difficulty. And there's no fucking square formation to use or anything like that, so these guys really are crap. All I need to do is kill that general, and we can leave. Okay, all of these troops are gonna rout and get slaughtered. But to be honest, they're so trashy, I don't even care. Just have to hope they hold out long enough to actually do some damage, which they're doing hardly anything. What's the point of even having them if they can't fight? Especially in something they're supposed to be ideal against. they have bonus versus cavalry? No, they don't. They're called spearmen, but they don't have a bonus. Those Goth Raiders are doing well. The problem here is that this guy's a faction leader, and I don't want to lose either one of my generals, so I'm reluctant to send him in against them. The guys are holding on a little bit better than I expected. I'll try and get them out of there. So they're essentially just cannon fodder. Good, you got all of those. You lost like 2 men, that's good. Okay, you're in next. And same with you two. 3. Over here. Okay. These guys here have rallied, but they're of no use to us anymore. They didn't even get any kills in the first place. All this is really doing is making him tired. That's all. Okay. Get it over here. Maybe pathfind properly next time. I don't care if they get wiped out. Like I said, they're trashy units anyway. It's gonna be worth it to wipe out this faction if this works. Keep the general close by, try to reduce the rate at which they rout. Who's shooting us? Some more Goth Raiders here. I don't even need to defeat all the warlords, or all the general's bodyguard. I just need to kill the actual general, then we can leave. These guys are better, but still don't hold out that well. It's a shame we won't be getting any recovery. There's a lot of units to recover, but like I said, it's better that we wipe out this faction, then we can take our time in sorting out the rebels later. Because once we've wiped out a faction, they can never come back. Okay, now that we've reduced his numbers by enough, if you come in at the rear here, if we time this right, and you come in, we'll have him completely sandwiched. This army is basically fucked because of this one guy here doing that much damage.
The enemy king lies dead at your feet. Now is the time to strike hard at his grieving subjects.
Now is actually the time to leave. Okay, if we want to win this war, we have to leave. Because I know what I'm doing may seem weird, but I'm sure there's going to be people asking, why the fuck did he leave when he was winning the battle? Here's how this works. It doesn't matter if I've killed off all of their family members in this battle. If I capture the city, they'll turn into a horde. Okay, if I don't capture the city but kill all of their generals, they won't turn into a horde. They won't have any generals left. The faction will be defeated. Then I come back the next turn, recapture the settlement of rebels. That way I don't have to deal with a horde, which is going to be a very long-term problem if that is the case, because it's hard to hunt them all down. Like I said, we walked into this battle knowing full well we were to be defeated. This is a victory for me because I achieved the goal of what we're supposed to do here. In the way it wasn't a victory was that we took a lot of casualties, but it had to be done. Come on, off you go.
This is a
My main hope here is that I did actually defeat the faction. Victory. Good. That's what I was counting on. So if we look at the settlement now, there's still a bunch of units in there. Our army is in very bad shape. Legio Lancarii. Can I send them back here? I can. Retraining. So now we can take our time and deal with that at our own pace. That's a faction that will never come back. So I'm actually really happy with that result. Because yeah, horde factions, not pleasant to deal with. Like, you don't have to do that against the Western Roman Empire. There are some factions that cannot be turned into a horde. Sassanids, the Berbers, the Western Roman Empire, they can't turn into hordes. So you don't have to worry about doing it that way. And just about all other factions can. Let me just see, go through these. Which ones can and can't? Franks can turn into... I think the Celts can't turn into hordes. Don't think they can. I'm pretty sure the Alemanni and the Lombardi can.
Set sail! Set sail!
I don't care that they're not ally. I'm still going to kill them. Alright, so now we have to sally out here to prevent this. Oh, it's all just infantry anyway, so easy stuff. Because the thing is, if you just wait for them to attack you... I mean, yeah, it's easy victory, but it's 2 turns that you're sitting there, not building anything in the settlement. We don't have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for... Oh, I forgot to retrain these guys last time. Well, it's okay, we're not really using... Don't need to use the infantry. Don't need to use any of them. So we keep them in there, I won't need them at all. Main focus is going to be using cavalry. I don't want them coming in from the front. Come in from over here. Archers just come and stand here, and our reserves here. Let's quickly get over here while they're disorganized and try to intercept some of their missile units. Because then I can use my horse archers to harass their garbage units. Where's their general? Oh, he's too well protected. Charge into the peasants, we can get a nice round from that maybe. I can't believe it. Not even their peasants break on this difficulty. Oh, there we go. Do not be fighting their heavy spears. There's a bit of a risk because he was like right in the front of that. Gotta harass their archers. Get them away from their main troops. You guys start coming in over here. Another thing is, the more we can get these guys to run around, the more tired they become, the better it will be for us. Much easier to break them when they're tired. I just know there's going to be somebody that's like, why the fuck did he run away from that battle before? He was winning. What a dumbass. I just know there's going to be someone like that. Like, why would he do that? And if that does happen, I just gotta be... I just know that the guys, if when I read that comment, I'll be like, oh god. That's basically that's my stock response anytime I read a comment like that. It's like, oh god, what a dumbass. I literally explained it like 5 fucking times to be perfectly clear to prevent someone from getting the wrong idea of what the goal was on that battle. But it doesn't matter how many times you explain something to some people. They either, I think it's not that people are stupid, it's that they don't pay attention. Or they're looking, people are looking for stuff to complain about. I just try and preempt it as much as possible. Because it is annoying. People nitpick. Why did he not use his archers in that battle? Like, they were just sitting there the entire fucking time. What a dumbass. I didn't want to use my archers in that battle. You know, as an example. Doesn't matter. Okay, so that cleared off quite a few of their units. We've killed 23% of them. These guys being tied here. It's a bit of an uphill charge, but because they're very tired, we should be able to break them. I'm a little bit concerned about this guy charging in though. So I pull him back at the last second. Okay, they want to leave. How tired? This is just regular type tired. I really want to break this guy here and just get a route going. You just stay back over here. You guys getting close to inflict fear on them. I mean, they don't inflict fear. Just scare them a little bit. Charging up the hill now. Our guys are a little bit tired. This guy's wavering. Charging it. Does it work? Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's what I want to see. So what we're trying to do here is get more units routing at a time. See how more of them starting to route. Get a chain route going. This is what we want to see. General's shaken, that's good. I'm not sure about that yet. Pull him out. I mean, it's spearmen that we're dealing with here. I mean, we've already won the battle. It's just a case of trying to kill as many of them as possible. It's like a reasonable charge in the back there. Not enough to do any significant bit of damage, but enough to break them. That's good. That's what I was looking for.
The enemy general with fear. Now he flees the field like a coward.
So what are we up to? 63%. So 2 large battalions over there we need to try and wipe out, but they're close to the red line, so I don't know if I can reach it there in time. Don't think we got 85% of them, but it's gonna be. It's still a good result. I mean, we essentially only lost General's bodyguard, which
true virtue. They are not soldiers,
they recover.
Only frightened rabbits running from our men.
There we go. 77.
Rome
78%. That's not too bad. That went really well, actually. Cavalry's king. That's why, you know, infantry's not really that reliable.
at your service.
Cavalry is. there's Tessiphon over there. So this has got one more turn until this is constructed. However, the public order's been getting better. Christianity at 9%, okay.
Orders.
Got this battle over here to do. I'm not gonna be able to get that done in 5 minutes, but that's fine. We'll go a little bit over time, it's fine. Let's do it.
And so it begins! We Romans never seek... Await my order!
Alright, what am I doing?
Unit!
Okay, cavalry first. Then archers. What did I bring peasants for? Like, I suppose I could just leave them as garrison. I didn't mean to bring them. Move up and start shooting. What are we up against here? Herdsmen, steppe lancers. Okay, good. They'll have a field day shooting at that. You hold your fire just for the time being. If these guys are up front, I don't want to take friendly fire. Okay, I won't take friendly fire from there. Alright, let's start moving up.
Our soldiers have reached the gates with... Our soldiers are at the walls! Now they must batter a way through.
So that's one of their
Our
divisions
soldiers
down,
have
one of their
done their
battalions.
work well. The battering ram has broken through the gate.
Runaway slave spearmen. Can't expect much out of them.
Show no mercy. The enemy walls are down. Make sure their soldiers are buried beneath the ruins. Yes, fire at will.
Steppe horse archers. Okay, what are we gonna need for that? A lot of cavalry here. Look, our faction leader is already an old man. If he dies in this battle, does it really matter? Not really, because he's probably going to die of old age soon anyway. So let's send him in, and we'll see how much we can get out of him. Because even if he does die, we can still win the battle.
Our soldiers have done well this day. The walls are taken.
The only unit that was really going to give him a hard time would have been the runaway slave spearmen, and they've been crushed.
Great gods be praised. The enemy general is killed. Fear makes a home in our enemies'
Right, hang on.
hearts.
If I could just sort of... I just wish I could just sort of control him. Just prevent him from engaging until, you know, at least his bodyguard is gone. He's relatively safe there. I'll tell you what, this would have been a rare sight to actually see a Roman emperor in combat like this back then. Too busy fucking their slaves or something. Yeah, looks like we got it. He's safe there. That way we essentially took 0 casualties.
Victory! Rome has conquered!
Just exterminate them. Oh, what do you know? It didn't take 5 minutes. Good stuff. Alright, so what do we need here? Need to focus on public order first, of course. Not a particularly rich settlement. So, I don't want to stay here for too long. Let me just see if I can leave them behind and keep moving. Okay, we can.
General! Imperator!
Let's reorganize a little bit.
General!
And move into Sassanid territory.
Onward! Orders! General! General!
I hope we're not biting off more than we can chew coming through here, but again, he's already an old man. If he ends up dying... Ooh, those aren't too bad, I'll get them. They're actually... They're cheaper than my horse archers, and they're probably better as well. Yeah, they are. Okay, good.
Sir! General! Imperator! Leaving the army! Onward! Sir! Onward! Move depleted, sir!
Okay, if they engage us out in the field later, then... With those horse archers there, I'll be fine. So we need to stay there for just one more turn.
Imperator! Onward!
Okay, looking for this settlement. I cannot remember for the life of me where it is.
Without delay, out of moves. Imperator! March! No more moves, sir.
Oh, it could be like... Oh, it could be there. I think that's where it is, there, Demartha.
Ready to sail!
I can recruit here, or there. Okay, maybe I should recruit some more troops here. I'll get some more Equites Auxilia. I do like cavalry, as you guys know. So much more reliable than infantry. Legend. Infantry is way more reliable than cavalry. Blah, 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 blah. The thing is, no matter what I say, someone will always disagree with me, and I'll always pay them out. So you know, you can go ahead and disagree with me, but I'll pay you out just as much as you're going to try and pay me out. So fuck you. All right, so this whole turn the other cheek bullshit. I don't fucking subscribe to that. Turn the other cheek, more like got the other cheek. I don't know, it doesn't make much sense. Yep, a port there would be good for trade. Okay, we need to sort that out at some point as well. I mean, it's just peasants. I think the other one was a cavalry unit. Alright, let's end the turn here, and then we'll end the episode. So we've gained 2 regions so far on this episode. On this episode. Moving on. No major resistance. Making good cash. So, would you look at that? They actually had a revolt happen here. So, you know, there actually wasn't that many troops there in the first place. So if I had gotten here a turn earlier, I could have declared war on the Western Roman Empire and had an easier fight. But this way I don't have to fight the Western Roman Empire, which is still my allies. Anyway, that's the end of this episode, guys, so like and subscribe, part 2's next, and don't forget to visit me on Facebook. See you next time, fuckers.